Namaskar. A hearty good morning to all of you. I, Tulsidas Pai, a student of economics and a proud son of Bharat Mata, welcome you all to this national seminar organized by FINS on the theme of the development and security of Bharatiya Islands and coastline. FINS is a national NGO which was brought into inception back in 2003. It has, over the past decade, been devoted to creating public awareness on national security in pursuance of forging an institutional base towards bolstering and coordinating efforts at sensitizing and mobilizing civil society and the wider genre of people on multifaceted aspects integral to a holistic understanding of cross-cutting internal and national security issues. Towards this end, FINS convened a seminar on coastal security at Ratnagiri, Maharashtra, identifying and highlighting the vulnerabilities of India's coastline just prior to the infamous sea-based attack in Mumbai on 26/11. A subsequent seminar was held in Mumbai to review India's insecurity and state of preparedness. This seminar in Goa is the third in this series and is dedicated to the theme of development and security of Indian islands and coastline in the Indian Ocean region at a time when maritime security is of utmost concern and India, given its pivotal geographical location in the Hind Mahasagar, is primed to play a critical role. To start off the proceedings, I would like Mr. Bhargav Desai to kindly escort Justice Khandeparkar to the dais, along with, and I also request Mr. Rajesh Mahajan ji to escort as well. I now request Advocate Parvesh Khanna and Nikhil Lavande to escort Admiral Arun Prakash ji to the dais. Admiral Arun Prakash has had an illustrious career in Navy and served as the Chief of the Staff of Navy. I now request Dr. Frederick Vaz and Mrs. Maya Chaudhary to welcome and escort our Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar ji to the dais. Parrikar ji has been a mascot of good governance and has had illustrious 3 decades of service in the political realm and has been a man of development for Goa. I now request Aditya Banari and Dr. Ravi Shekhar, the co-convener of this seminar, to escort Sri Ajit Doval, the guest of honor of today's function, to the dais. Sri Ajit Doval also has had an illustrious career in the government and served as the Director of Intelligence Bureau. I now request Ms. Kirti Saukar and Mr. Rajesh Mahajan again to escort Indresh ji to the dais. finally, I request Dr. Somnath Pedni and Mrs. Sarla to escort Lieutenant General Dr. D.B. Shekatkar to the dais. Now that the dais is set, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to kindly proceed to lighting the lamp, and I request Professor Geeta to facilitate the same. I request Shri Muhammad Ashrafi Ji, the Waqf Board Chairman of Chhattisgarh, to kindly give Honorable CM Sir a memento. Moving on, I now request the mascot of good governance in the country, the man of development and a nationalist leader who all of us look forward to, Honorable Chief Minister Mr. Manohar Parrikar Ji, to kindly address us.
I would have loved to speak in Kokni, but since many of you do not understand it, I'll stick to foreign language. Thank you, Admiral Arun Prakash Ji, for a very nice and, though it was crisp, normally keynotes speeches and this becomes very long in order to explain everything. But I think in such a nice selected words, the importance and weaknesses were brought out here before us. In fact, I had my own reservation because with all due respect in your command and everything, whether he would be a good speaker in explaining to us. But I would appreciate that today I can say that naval and admirals are equally good speakers and they can explain issues in such a nice language. I am very sure it would have been an excellent idea to have that same keynote speech before common Aam Aadmi. You will understand it. Because this is very important for I remember, and for your information to everyone, that coastal police concept has been started by Goa for the first time in year 2000 when I was Chief Minister, because I was very much interested in national security, and sometimes you wonder whether we are really seriously understand our security problem. It's for that yesterday I decided that I recognize Forum for Integrated National Security as a registered official recognized NGO for the state of Goa. And shortly we will get my announcement on setting up of an academy which I think Finns can operate. The state government will set it up. It can be a college of national security, school of national security, whatever word you use. But I think it is very important that we understand these aspects properly, because today patriotism is displayed by two extremely incorrect sentiments which are expressed. One is nowadays we don't play cricket with Pakistan. Sorry, I didn't take names of other dignitaries. Sri Ajit Doval, Sri Indesh Kumarji, Lieutenant General D.B. Shekatkar, our own Justice R.M.S. Kandaparkarji. Nowadays we don't play cricket with Pakistan, otherwise we think that patriotism is best displayed by bursting box of crackers when Pakistan loses the match and abuse Indian team when we lose it. That is how probably patriotism is defined. But I also get sometimes worried when I see Vande Mataram or national anthem being sung and security, including the police who are supposed to guard the venue, also standing in the same position. I'm a childhood soldier, and the first thing I was told that if you are on job of Rakshan, you are not supposed to be controlled by any other parameter, including the Prarthana. So, my concept is very clear that even when the national anthem is being sung, one who is in charge and on operation of security cannot be in the position, because that is the time will be weakest time. So I think our concept needs to be properly corrected. We have conceptual problem in respect of national security, and that is why some sort of a educational aspect will be required. Ultimately, a national security is a mindset. It is not, I always say, sometimes I have seen people who are very thin, but others fear them. Not because they are strong, but probably it is not the hand or the fist which has a power, it is the mind which has a power. If your mind delivers it, even a very thin person can beat a very hefty pahalwan, and I think that needs to be understood. We need also another right point which was mentioned, which I will mention in a more painful way. One of my friends mining issues going in Supreme Court, and one of my friend, he had been to Supreme Court hearing what is going on. Of course, he was interested in the petition. He suddenly saw 2-3 army people, senior army people, coming and sitting next to him in the Supreme Court. When he inquired with them, he realized that they had come there probably for the 4th or 5th time to get a permission from Supreme Court to construct a road to Arunachal, and they were not getting permission because it was passing through a forest. I don't think if China takes over Arunachal, I don't wish it, but just to imagine a scenario, if China takes over Arunachal, will they take permission from Supreme Court to cut down the trees to construct the roads? Because they have reached on the other side. I have got many officers, IS officers, IPS officers, who happen to have served in Arunachal because it is a Agmut cadre we are being served. So we have the same officer here, and all of us tell me that China has one of the best road network on the other side of the border. And probably what can protect us from any Chinese intrusion, unlike in 62, is we having not constructed any roads. So if they come, they can't take their tanks into India because there is no road. So how do you bring all the heavy equipments in India? Where is the road? Where are the road? I'm worried about this mindset which does not take into account. This is a mindset which worries me even when human rights comes into picture. I am a very strong supporter of environment, mind you. I am a very strong supporter of human rights. But human rights, where do you stretch the rubber? When an army jawan or a police officer is fired at, where does the human rights people go, disappear? I have not seen Supreme Court issuing order to the someone in Kashmir to comply with some conditions. They tell us to do the same thing in Goa or another commission. That's because there is a, I'm not criticizing courts. I only say that it is a concept. It is a politician's concept. It is concept with common man. Obviously it will be reflected in judiciary also. So security has to be treated on a different platform altogether, and we have to have a different yardstick for security. That is the point which I am trying to make. You cannot count illegal mining and a road making in Arunachal on the same platform. There has to be some system. You can't, radar system was mentioned. I'm having my own doubts. Are these radars imported from China? You'll be surprised to know that 5 years back, United States issued an order which said that no electronic items will be purchased for any military equipment which is made in China. It's a direct official directions issued, because electronic services systems can have a bug which will give all your information. Have a radar which will show fighter coming to your place or bomber coming to your country to bomb it, and it may also give a signal, say about your activity to your enemy where the thing is manufactured. You can have a small bug of the size of a head of a pin which can give the signal back, and it can be activated only through a satellite signals. How do you guarantee a Chinese radar to protect you? Can they have not a bug which will say that once they I am having question marks. So these are the mindset where security aspects has to be taken into consideration. And there are many more such. I am not raising all. There are experts here who can have more discussion on this kind of aspects. But we have to be careful of Trojan horses also. There are many of them. And probably we have not learned from various experiences or history where we had seen such kind of internal sabotage of the security. Finns today has come to Goa, and I would be very happy if we can be of some assistance. There is a reason why I was waiting for this incident to make it very clear that Goa will love to have an academy which will study this as a subject, and necessary infrastructure will be provided, and Finns can approach the state government with a detailed proposal, and we will do it. Thank you very much. Due to some other appointments, I will have to leave early. I express my apologies for leaving early. Thank you very much.